What's going on, everybody? Did Mental here, and I love my Vel Bar.
And aka Belly Poo.
In Living with Autism, episode 228.
Congrats.
I'm gonna bring something up from yesterday's video blog and probably a couple of other video blogs. I kind of have butchered the episode numbers, and I did not realize until yesterday.
Excuse me.
Turns out, it's not episode 444, it's episode 244. I kind of got mixed up because of fans of trains.
Train freak.
Or not fans of train, but rail fan in Ravenel. I got it mixed up because that's already in 400 episodes.
That's so long. That's a lot.
But I realized and I said, oh shit. So, yeah. I'm bringing that up just for idiots don't be assholes. Because, one, it was a simple mistake, and I did not realize it until now, or technically until yesterday after I posted the video on YouTube.
We all made mistakes, and yeah, go say something to you.
But I realized it was not episode 444.
Oof.
But it was episode 242, to be more exact. Hey, I didn't realize that. So, that was a big mistake on my end. So, yeah. Something I kind of learned the hard way. But, yeah. So, oof.
Oof, oof. We poof, poof.
Yep.
David, do you want me to say something?
Yeah, you can.
Guys, if you notice, I don't have bangs anymore, and it's getting longer. So it's here, my nose too close to the cheekbone. I did a survey on my Instagram story. If you guys would want me to see one more time in my short bangs or Cleopatra bangs or not anymore. So most of the people said it's a tie. It's a so-so situation right here. Some said yes, I have to cut it short. Some said no, keep it, grow out your bangs. And speaking of growing out my bangs, yes, I did grow out these bangs since the middle of the 2021 year.
Oh,
and also, David, I did style my hair before the live stream, and yes, my hair is technically stick straight, and I fulfill my dream hairstyle of my choice.
Come on! There's gonna be snow just that far from at 3 in the morning. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, excuse me, David. Yeah, to continue, this hair that you guys saw is like, it's my desired length, because I have a hair that is very stick straight, so it's so boring that I don't style my hair for this live stream and possibly for reaction video that I might gonna make again. And for the moment, my situation right now, commitment wise, for my own YouTube channel, technically it's very depressing to say, but I wasn't ready to do it right now because there are a lot of stuff that is on the table at the moment. So besides the commitment, then I have to get back. I would love to get back to posting YouTube videos again like I did before. And honestly, at the moment, I don't feel motivated posting stuff right now because of all the dislikes and trolls. I wanted to do this on my own YouTube channel. I would say anything full detail right now in this live stream, but I'm just giving you a summary. But as of the moment, going back to my hair bangs is starting to look like a bob length, like a reaches to this area. This will mark as a length, like if it's reaching here. I might have to cut short bangs on the thin layers because this is very thick and it's too much. So my my friend was a hairdresser who colored my hair red again last year said if I would cut my bangs, I have to be very smart enough to cut it on the thin layers, not too much. Although I have a hairline that's so baldy in here and it's not balding here, but honestly, I wanted to try not to be
David,
on
gonna snow in
bangs.
Somerville.
David, you interrupted me again. Like, honestly, the reason why I don't post my YouTube videos the moment because one, commitment. Number two, I have to catch up stuff, and three, I want. I'm. I realize that motivation, get you motivated before you do something. No, I have to get back, getting inspired to do it again. That'll be a new mantra that I would like to own this year. Part of my New Year's resolution is be inspired in order for you to be motivated. Then when you get motivated, you get the very good results that you want and you need it so bad. So speaking of motivation and inspiration, this week marks the Autism National Consciousness Week in the Philippines that ended in the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. And last Thursday is the International Memorial Day of the Holocaust. And if you guys know, my hairstyle looks like a 40s technically, but I don't look like a 40s. But this hairstyle is very 1940s. And what I learned about the commemoration of Holocaust is one of the sought after and the saddest news in the world history, in all the world, in 20th and 21st century. Since I myself discovered this Holocaust thing when I was in high school, even though it's not even technically discussed in the social studies, I want to do it out of my own curiosity. So, what I've learned is you don't kill someone's life because discrimination can lead to jealousy, and jealousy could lead to murder. And I know the reason why the Holocaust existed because the jealousy came in to the table. And it's also the conflict and mistreatment and judgment. So, with Holocaust, it is a crime against humanity. And there are a lot of people behind. They're still in search of finding those. And the Holocaust survivors did share a lot of stories that they experienced during the time of the Holocaust. And it's really heart-wrenching, it is very emotional. And the Holocaust is also seen in this movie, The Freedom Riders, where they talked about life and transition. And
sorry,
David!
Sorry.
I'm very farted too. But seriously, David will turn over. I'll turn over for now.
Alright, be right back. I gotta check outside.
Right. Thank you, David. Anyway, like I said, while David is doing his stuff, so I will fly solo for a bit. So before I bring up the Autism Consciousness Week that was traditionally happening in the Philippines, I will bring up this. I will bring up this international Holocaust. Sorry. Okay, let me. I'm being farted also. International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Sorry about my first line. So Holocaust didn't exist in the European continent. You know, we all have. It happens also in my home country, in any parts of the world. And there are a lot, millions, more than millions of victims of Holocaust. You're you're political prisoner, prisoner of war, disabled, homosexuals, heterosexuals, even children were killed. I know this is the voice of autism. That doesn't mean it's just focusing on autism. We want to explore more. Okay. But
Got a brownie.
with Holocaust is really a challenging event in the world history. And for David's sake, I did discuss about my reflection about the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, because this is really like it's underappreciated by other people. And like I said, it is because when this Holocaust happened, yes, to give you a little background about Holocaust, what is Holocaust? Holocaust means whole burnt, aka mass genocide. Whole burnt. It is a crime against humanity. Like I said, it is a crime against humanity. Why Holocaust existed? Number one, there is no unity. There is no plan. No plan of action to unify. That will be succeeded by conflict. And that will be succeeded by discrimination. And that will be succeeded by there's a bear. I don't want to say it, but
by cruelty.
Yep. And Holocaust Sunday, this International Holocaust Remembrance Day is also the day that this was personal to some great kids, grandkids, grandparents, ancestors, the grandparents of their ancestors who were a Holocaust survivor. In my perspective, in my experience, I didn't know Holocaust existed. I only knew World War II is about World War. It's about war. Military. No, it is more than that. Holocaust even happened in my home country, in the Asian continent.
With the Japanese doing genocide too.
Even Philippines experienced the Holocaust on its own.
Now the Japanese tried to make it look like a race war when it really was not.
Poof, poof. Well, Korea is still Korea. Was Korea. Until Korea became a South and a North Korea separately. Just like South Carolina, North Carolina.
But they still do bad crap over there.
Ouch. Going back to the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, there are a lot of people misunderstood that. If you guys understand what I'm saying, Holocaust taught us that Murder, genocide doesn't even solve the problem after all.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the Bible. Thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not covet the property. Technically, the Holocaust shows that the Jewish rights were stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Even disabled people were
It also
coveted their right.
it is kind of a dark side of my family history because of the German descent I have. But ironically, we one of my aunts was Germans, but they refused to join the army. But
The Nazis.
Yeah, they had no choice. What they did was, my grandma told me a story how her dad we literally surrendered to the American. Ironically, technically we do have German American, but my grandma a German. She was born in 1949, 4 years after the war ended. But she told me all the horrific stuff that Germans we did to their own people. Their own people will force to join
the army.
Mm-hmm.
And the camp.
Not camp, but do our shit.
Sorry.
The thing is that if you refuse, if you have a family, well, you get that family goodbye. What they would do is they would they would rape the wife, then murder them. They would burn you alive. Then what they did to the kids was the awful thing. They used to impale them and put them on the side of the roads. Yeah, something like Pelt Impaler, the person who expired Dracula.
And
they don't talk about that part in history because that would be a lot of stuff different in history book if that will end. But yeah. Now
let me tell you something. There is a lot of, speaking of this Holocaust experience, like, we should learn, even though that memorial, that the Remembrance Day ended, we need to have a deeper research, a deeper reflection about the Holocaust by watching movies about that. And also, speaking of the Holocaust victims, I do have a handful of Holocaust victims that I literally looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
One was a Catholic priest whose name Maximilian Kolbe. This is what I've shared during the table talk with some of my Amway friends in the Philippines before I moved out. So when I was asked, who is the person that you looked up to, who knows that they sacrificed their life for the better? If I can remember that question, because it's on my notes. It's on my book review notebook in the Philippines. How I could have brought that, but yeah. I do consider Maximilian Kolbe as one of my favorites, and I consider him as the influential a Holocaust victim was considered inspirational at the same time. Someone that I could learn the life too, because Maximilian Kolbe, he is experienced in missionary work as a Catholic priest, as a Catholic missionarian. When Maximilian Kolbe was abducted, ended up in Auschwitz concentration camp, there's one scene, there's one big big scene that would change that inmate's life. Instead of that inmate who is originally gonna be killed by an injection, Maximilian Kolbe decided to take this inmate's place. This male inmate is a family man who has kids. And that's the reason why Maximilian Kolbe has a concern. At the same time, he cares for that inmate because that family could never afford to lose their father or their mom or the kids. Maximilian Kolbe took his life, but of course, it took him a lot of time to pray, and he never stopped being himself, sharing the gospel of God before that big moment. He was a patron saint of prisoners, drug addicts, and and he was well respected by a lot of people for being there, for being a risk taker. And the other one was Anne Frank, the Holocaust victim we know. At the younger age of 16, she was murdered at the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, a concentration camp for women and children.
When someone found her books in the 70s.
And somebody would freak me out on this one. Seeing a 16-year-old who is younger, innocent, was too painful. And I do have a quote in my Facebook. Upon learning about Anne Frank, I do watch her film and documentary. David, I hope you don't mind if I could share this Anne Frank thing.
You can share it.
So, honestly, I do share that on my Facebook profile page about Anne Frank. But I've wrote this way back in 2020, in June 7th, with this caption about Anne Frank in my own words. To commemorate one of the people from the Holocaust whose lives cut short, just like Father Maximilian Kolbe, or we call him Saint Maximilian Kolbe, and Anne Frank, made a significant uniqueness in this world. Anne Frank is one of the persons I adored for her dedication and resilience. From being resourceful out of that simple autograph book that turned into a diary that kept her until her last days. As a diarist, she would love to write things she imagined and shared her real-life moments until the Nazis came to gain power occupying Netherlands and its borders. Sadly, she and her family got caught by the hands of the Nazis and was placed in Bergen-Belsen and lived until 1945.
Right towards the end of the war,
and the Dutch surrender.
She died a week before the camp was liberated by the Americans. The camp was liberated by the American a week later. But I know the people who did that to her, they got sentenced to death. I know for people who worked at concentration camp, they either got life in prison or got sentenced to death row.
Excuse me, David?
Am I right?
Yep. And this is one thing that me and my friend Therese, we do Miss World out of our role models, past or present and future. Okay. Mine is this. I made a question out of Anne Frank's quote with this question that I made. Everybody says they want to change the world for the better. What do you think is the greatest threat of your generation right now is facing? So the answer is Anne Frank's quote. How wonderful it is that nobody need to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. And my younger sister Jessa has a book of Anne Frank's diary. I hope I could read that deeply, even though I have the original Dutch version of A Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Yeah, it is one of my favorite movies. A Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I did watch that before, and Anne Frank the movie, and if I can remember, I've watched this movie in Tubby. That is also a Holocaust related. Huh. Let me look into it. Okay, hold on, David.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And
this
this is
is
something
re-
that we deal with in the autistic community too. Am I right?
Yep. Okay, it says. Okay, I did find this movie. I did watch the Schindler's List. I did watch this. I know this is not a Holocaust related, but this is a Holocaust related for the Filipinos. KSM's And huh. There's this Holocaust movie that resonated me a lot, which was The Gray Zone, where there are a lot of people in that concentration camp were killed in that infamous Auschwitz death camp, including the very lead character, which is that girl who was the witness behind all the killings, and that made me enlightened at the same time intrigued that Holocaust shows that it is a harsh reality, and at the same time it is a wake-up call for us to stop the war and stop the conflict. I know conflicts happens every day, but not in this kind of thing. And also, I do have some friends, like some people I met. If I don't have friends, I do have some people I've met who are also Jewish. And Philippines, we do celebrate Hanukkah, but not in that big celebratory thing. It's a small community. It's a small thing for Israelis living in the city where I lived in Makati. And that gave me a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration to learn more about Holocaust by also by also listening to Holocaust survivors, since they do complimentary live streams in an hour. They do talk to a survivor, and hopefully I could talk to a survivor one of these days. And with those countless people that I saw on the research that I did, during my research, that made me cry so much. That everybody deserves to be accepted, to be respected. And that Holocaust taught us not to discriminate either. And not to discriminate people regardless of the race. And not to be jealous at them. But the jealousy of others cannot control. Because they do not know the consequences until they were caught red-handed. Just like those SS Nazi guards. After the war, trial. After that, they were sentenced to death because that penalty existed after the war.
A lot of Nazi who were part of the SS got sentenced to death or life in prison. Heck, some of them even die in prison. Heck, ones who escaped
You get
still got hunted down by the Jews. The people, Israel wanted some revenge, so they hunted the people who did them wrong down. They hunted them down, that for sure.
And death penalty was under the English law. Since Britain, Russia, America, Soviet before, actually the Soviets. Liberators, Soviets, Americans, Canadians.
Now, the Soviets did take advantage of it, and they created
Their
East
own.
Germany.
They split it.
And Germany did not unify back until 1990. Or technically 1989, to be more exact.
And the reason why with this split, they're like, Germany, let's split. Let's think about it first.
Technically, it was split by the Allies after they won the war.
I think that's another thing. Nazis. I've learned this. The reason why I don't want to be political, a lot political. They will not love me for this, but I know ethnic cleansing existed. Even right now, even in this generation.
There are a lot of countries that still do it, and my God, it messed up.
A good thing. Me and him, we do have a deep obsession. For World War II history and stuff. Not only to the Holocaust, but also military, everything. Like everything. And speaking of that Holocaust Memorial Day, because I talked to you the day that I hope we could go on that Thursday for us to visit that Holocaust Memorial statue near the College of Charleston.
Yeah, you're talking about like after we get done with the aquarium.
Yeah, but it was moved, which is that's fine.
Yeah, the aquarium trip, I forgot to mention it yet, or I probably did yesterday.
Yeah.
But it was rescheduled for next week. So, yeah.
Which is February 6th is, speaking of the Thursday, it is also my favorite, the Bush Clash at the LA Coliseum. Let's go! And I'm excited about NASCAR Cup Series back racing, but let me bring up another. Speaking of that NASCAR stuff, I do want to bring this.
When is it?
February 6th, NASCAR thing. But let me bring up first this event that Philippines is celebrating. They celebrated the National Autism Consciousness Week, which was from January 18th to January 24th, 2022. And the theme is nurturing public-private alliances towards an Autism OK Philippines. This is to intend the partnerships in terms of private sectors, public sectors, especially on the workplace. And let me read you guys a little bit about this year's theme. This is according to Autism Society of the Philippines. Number 1 is to nurture partnerships between the government and the private sector. Government, they do not know autism. The government themselves have to be educated about autism.
Right.
And let me continue this, David. To help Filipinos on the autism spectrum and those who care for them rise above the challenges of the condition and current economic and health situation. Okay, let me read it again. To nurture partnerships between the government and the private sector to help Filipinos on the autism spectrum and those who care for them rise above the challenges of the condition and the current economic and health situation. The overall living of every individual with autism, with the support of the government and the support of the organizations in correlation with autism, every individual with autism can have a lot of accessibilities, like housing, financial assistance, even healthcare. Those are priorities of support. And then job opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is grow a community of allies within the country, the region, and the rest of the world, supportive of programs towards genuine inclusion. Let me bring this up. Philippines has been facing a lot of discrimination when it comes to disability, and specifically autism, because they think, oh, people with autism just they're just socially awkward. To be honest, it's not the truth. It's a myth. The fact here is autism is not even a threat. It's not a disease. It is a neurological disability
Mm-hmm.
that stays forever. And the area of improvement is the social communication. I didn't understand the question that Miss Leonora did ask me last 5 years ago, 6 years ago. What were your views about speaking for yourself and speaking for someone in behalf? Those could work both sides. That works both sides. Both worlds worked if they do it correctly, precisely, honestly, and decent in a decent way. Because some minor kids cannot speak for themselves, so there is a parent who can speak for them, for their kids with autism. I started to speak for myself when I was 19 years old. I started to consider myself and realize myself that I can be a self advocate for autism in 2014 before I verged to ANCA. And this number two was really a big relevance, especially myself being a college student in a school where there's zero understanding about disability until Miss Possibilities, my involvement with Miss Possibilities, and then my friend who became my guardian before, now a volunteer of Miss Possibilities, got to share it with her alma mater and the psychology department. They ended up sharing inclusivity training, sensitivity training on how to deal with people with disabilities, especially intellectual disabilities like autism. Why number two is very important. With the backbone, because this number two is really the backbone of everything. How will you nurture partnership with public and private sector when there are no allies associated and connected to the government? We have a lot of autism organizations across the world that could talk to the government. Even as an individual with autism like me and him could go to the government and talk to the mayor or talk to the president, to the governor. If that's the case, number two speaks about the genuine inclusion where self advocacy is also there. And
Mm-hmm.
also, David, excuse me.
I know, but
Excuse me. And also, number two is really spoke a lot. This spoke to me a lot that we really need to speak our voice, to speak our truths. Especially there are a lot of people that never invalidated us autistics. They thought, they were doing the speaking ableism language. And us autistics have feelings as well.
mm-hmm.
And this is also our personal advocacy to raise our understanding, awareness, acceptance about autism. Especially those people out there, they're making ableistic remarks. And this is something that it has to stop. That's the reason why we in the autism community created advocates. We are at our own merit to be an advocate because we experience a lot of things, we experience the challenges. At least it comes from someone who is legitimately autistic,
Mm-hmm.
formally diagnosed as autistic, rather than someone who is faking their disability. That's reason number two. We create a group. We can make ourselves out of a. We can make a community out of us autistics.
That right.
Young adult, young, whether you're young, you're an adult, and you're an older adult. While we have the chance, life's too short. We need to get our leadership, the leadership crown in us. We need to wear that crown of leadership. If you are gifted enough, if you're smart enough, if you're confident enough to lead the advocacy, why not? Do it. That's what you need to do. That's what you love. This is something that everybody needs to know. That us autistics can be future leaders. Lastly, to cultivate individual self awareness, self expression, and feeling of belonging to a compassionate society. This is already connected to the number two. Number three is the primary need. A better community starts with ourselves, it starts with us. Even some of the members of our household misunderstood us. Prove to them that we can do this. Prove to them we have the power to get our voice and emotions validated, just like what we validate. That's like what we did. Validate their feelings too. And our goal for number three is to speak our truths, like I said, to share your value. Nobody is worthless, and nobody is someone without a value. Everybody is worthy in the eyes of God. Like what I've learned this with the pageant video. Everybody's worthy, but you got the value. You got to build your values, build your morals, and being a leader, like for example, I was known as a singer by everybody, but I want to bring the value as a self advocate, as a person with autism to the table. And this is the reason why I feel discouraged, because nobody understands me, the other side of me. But this shouldn't be the case of giving up. With number three, with me and him doing the voice of autism, we wanted to have the sense of belongingness to a compassionate society, compassionate platform like YouTube. Like myself as well. I do video blogs like Autism and Me. The reason why I did this because I want to have the viewers the sense of belongingness when I speak to them. You are entering a conference room when we do Autism and Me, or the voice with autism, the voice of autism. So self-awareness, in order for you to build a better community, cultivating self-awareness starts with us. You can never help other people if you don't have the self-awareness and self-expression. Self-expression is missing, honestly. From like self-expression was misunderstood by others. Because with us with autism, we have a strong sense and ability to self-express.
We do. It did that. We get discriminated against a lot sometimes.
And they also took it against us. They use it against us. We autistics have the right to self-express. Why? Why? What is the point of life of someone with autism if the self-expression is missing? That's the reason why depression, anxiety, social anxiety, suicidal thoughts existed to someone with autism's life. Why? The self-expression was taken away by someone or by the situation, especially that sub situation was taken away, and that traumatizes someone with autism. For those who are so mad at someone with autism like us, we have the right to get our feelings validated and our expressions validated.
Right.
We are entitled also to get our opinions and our expressions expressed well. We don't bottle things up. This is the result of bottling up because the self expression is missing. So, if if I was talking to someone, to everybody here right now, please, for my fellow friends with autism, don't let others take away your self expression. You have it. That's yours. Nobody can take that away from you guys. You have the power to express your expressions and everything that's on your heart. That a way to let it go, to get the message across. So the symbol is the sunflower. They do sunflower because it's a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of motivation. One of these days, shout out to Autism Society of the Philippines, I might make a sunflower with my sketch pad, maybe. But if I were to perform a song with that on that theme, I wanted to sing "No Boundaries" by Adam Lambert, but I cannot sing right now because everybody in this house are sleeping. But maybe I would try my best to sing in live, or maybe in a recorded version.
Yep.
Guys, just pray for me, include me in your prayers, that one day I could go back to singing, because I did a big announcement. Speaking of that singing thing, I have an announcement that I would go back to singing until I'm okay, until further notice.
And I support her on that.
Because of stuff happening, like I said, there's a lot of stuff on the table, and now that you see this event that is traditionally celebrated in the Philippines, we also make a promise that was in Filipino, but I might have to do it as well. I have a lot of assignment to do, but I do a lot of autism related assignment. But right now, hopefully, I just needed the motivation. Not just motivation, the courage. And if you guys don't mind, this is a very traditional for me as a prayer warrior with autism. I would like to pray for each and every one with autism before we proceed. Actually, we do that at the end of the live stream, but I will give this table back to David, because David has a lot of stuff on this table.
Yeah, I was trying to say something too.
You ready, David?
All right.
Take it away.
All right. You want to let me adjust that. Now, I mean the one to Jane earlier. It did on Judge Judy. The reason why the autistic community like Judge Judy, because she will stand up for the community when wrongdoing happen. Like in California, where an autistic kid was treated wrong and was locked in a closet, and they got an award rewarded. The kid got rewarded about $2,000 to $300,000 to be more exact dollars, and the school got a fine. And then after that, they were on the TV show. I'm not showing the video, but I'm actually going to put the link of the video in chat. But after that, she went after the school and got it shut down. Like, literally, she actually did the autistic community a favor. I'll put the link in chat because what you did for our community was a big favor.
Ouch.
Because I'll be honest, that does not happen every day because autistic people have to deal with crap left and right, left and right. Am I right?
Yep.
And I do stuff like this to stand up and call people who do wrongdoing out. So, oops, sorry, fam. I got you with my foot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna bring up some of the stuff that I had to deal with in school back when I went to West Ashley High. My teacher, her name is McNettle, but you call her McNoodles. You have to treat autistic kids like crap. Like literally, she was disrespectful. She treated like crap, talked down to her. She told me that I would never be independent, that I would never be married, or never be able to live on my own. And newsflash, I got a tiny house out there that we're getting ready to start working on really soon. I pay payments on it. I do a lot of other stuff. So I proved her wrong, but she also did a lot of wrong to our autistic. But you guys knew I talked a lot about what my teacher did wrong in a lot of our videos. But she was an awful teacher, and I don't know how she was able to get a job in resource and special needs. I'm sorry, but how in the hell did she get a job in that area? And I remember first time in high school, on my birthday, she treated me like shit. On my fucking birthday.
Oh.
When I turned 14, I was going to turn 14 and did my freshman year.
Ouch.
Ironically, if you guys don't know, first week of high school, I was 13 years old. So yeah, I fall right there right before the drop-off point. So I was able to start high school at a younger age, which gave me a little bit more of an advantage that saved my behind. Ironically, I was supposed to graduate at 17, but instead I graduated at 18. So yeah, but it was that, but elementary school was way worse. My work time for me in school was in elementary school. And the reason why, because of all shit I had to go through. Like, Angel Oak Elementary, they strapped me down to a chair for. They use a lot of stuff. Like, they literally. Chair is not there anymore. They got rid of it around 2005, but I left way before that, around 2003, 2002. I was there for about a year to two. But after that, because they literally had me strapped down with my arms out like this. Like literally, they had me strapped down like you would see on someone being tortured or who got the death penalty in an electric chair. Like they used to do that to me all the time. Like they got away with it. Then we had Firestone Elementary School. I've been to 3 elementary school because of No Child Left Behind program. And they used to lock me in a bathroom, like literally, because we had a bathroom built into the classroom. Like, I don't know why, but they had a bathroom literally built into the classroom.
Ouch.
And they also had sinks and other stuff built in too. My guess, oh yeah, that right, it would both be like one of them types of classrooms because it was a military school back in it. They some all the way up until 70 or 80s. But what happened is that every time the kids used to get me in trouble, I used to get locked in the bathroom and it was in the dark because the light switch to the bathroom was on the outside. Worse yet, they had rats and other stuff that went through there.
Ouch.
My God, what the fuck was wrong with them? My mom did not know the full-on abuse. She knows that they treated me wrong, and she caught them disrespecting me one time when I said something and did something, and she had enough and transferred me to another school because she was not about to go off. Because my mom seen some of the stuff, but she did not know the full-on shit that they did.
Ouch.
My last year at elementary school and middle school were good for me. Mount Zion Elementary and Hopgap Middle were pretty good. Heck, it was middle school that I got my re-diagnosed finally would help me. But high school a mixed bag for me because I did have friends and other people there, but my teacher was a total bitch, and I hated having her as my homeroom teacher, and I had her at a class for 5 fucking years. Oof, it infuriated me that I had this bitch who thinks she knew autistic people. She used fear, all stuff that you're not supposed to do to an autistic person on them. Like, we had one autistic person that his name was Daniel. I'm just gonna bring him up. He was very smart, but he acted a lot younger. He was able to read and stuff, which proved the point that you could be smart and being able to read, but still act like a little kid. And you could be sucky and crappy like reading like me, but be as smart as hell and grown like an adult. But what happened to him is that he was scared of birds. McNettle used to use that to control him. Used to play bird noises on her laptop and open the window saying that she was going to get a bird in.
What?
Then she bought a bird.
What the hell?
And used it.
So she used his fear against him. In short.
Yeah, he was so traumatized he couldn't come back to school. He had to be homeschooled.
That's so stupid. Ew.
Like literally, McNettle, if you're willing to do it, fuck you, and you need to go to hell.
It's shame.
What you did to autistic, what you did to Daniel, what you did to me were wrong. And I used to look up to you. And funny thing, when I got older, I started realizing how much of a piece of crap you are. You're pathetic. And what you did to our community, to autistics, were wrong. I'm disgusted with you being a manipulated snake. But yeah. And I called her out right there. But her name was Miss Nettles.
McNoodles.
Name it hard to pronounce, but...
That's so sad. Like,
but she was pretty bad.
Their teachers are just entitled buttholes. Dumbasses.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys treat autistic students like that, then just quit your profession, dude. You're just trying to traumatize a lot.
The funny thing is, she was about to get sued, and I heard from one of the teachers that she quit, and she used, because she was not getting paid enough, as an excuse to get out of there. Like, she quit because she caught wind that someone was about to sue her. So she got wind of it and quit and started cheating down in Georgia. So if any of the school districts have someone named Nettles down in Georgia, if I were you, I would terminate her and put her on the no teach list
No teach
across the nation.
blacklist, you mean?
Yes. It called the no teach list for teachers.
No teach list.
Yeah, aka it technically is a blacklist. You can either get put on there if you do something wrong, like sexual assault, drugs, some of that other stuff, or encouraging sexual behavior.
Honestly, teachers like that are pathetic.
And what happened is she did it wrong a lot of time. Now, every other teacher that I had in high school was great. Miss Seward, Miss Smoke, Mr. Hamburg, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Hamilton, Miss A, which she was Japanese. Oops.
Miss A?
Yeah, she called Miss A.
Miss A?
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, she was technically a science teacher. She was one of the good ones. Yet we had an Asian teacher, and she was loved by all of us. Heck, she was in her 70s, and she...
Grandma teacher.
Yeah, she was in her 70s, and she looked like she in her 30s.
Science of young looking... Oh, science of youth.
Mm-hmm.
She looked like a grandma in age, but she doesn't act like...
I'm not sure if she still works there, but... I hope I see her one day, because she would be amazed at how far I got. Because I was one of her good students.
Favorite student or teacher?
Yeah, but also if you guys go back to some of my very old video, I did a science gun experiment in her class, like where you spray hairspray and bottle that and modify to shoot ping pong balls. That video, if you guys remember, it came from her classroom. I will show you. Hold on. I gotta go to some of my old video. Literally, I got some old video from almost a decade ago on here. But she was one of my good teachers. Then we had my art teacher, Mr. O'Brien. He was a good one. But we had a damn lot of good teachers. It did that. McNettle was not one of them. And let me be honest. She is one of the shitty people. Like, literally, like... I still don't know how in hell she got her effing teaching license. Like, literally, the stuff that she did was disgusting and awful. And she got away with it. Like, what the absolute hell? Then she make fun of me saying, oh, railroad isn't dying, when it really not. Like, she literally told me railroading was dying. And that just got me so pissed off that she would go down that route. Because, my God, what she did was wrong. Like, people like her should not be in the school district. But, yeah, am I right, Valley Pooh?
Yeah.
Like, how? How did she get her teaching job for shit she did to us? Because she did a lot, and I mean a lot, wrong. And it's something that I will never get. Because She always did shit. You know what I mean, Val?
Yeah.
And I did a lot to improve myself, but she did not care. That's the thing about being in high school and you have that one teacher. That one fucking teacher who don't get it and who do the shit. Am I right, Val?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had one? I know you had one of the teachers before, am I right?
Yeah. I don't have any problems with teachers, but I do. There's one teacher who is just. There's a lot of teachers who are very supportive for me, but the bullying side comes from the student side.
Mm-hmm. But there are still a lot of student out.
College wise, I don't have any problem with them, but more on the student side.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is a special thing. But there's this one counselor, I understand that this counselor doesn't know about autism, but to call me a friend is not respectful and not even cool right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Right. It's okay you ask us about autism, but not to take it as if we're a threat.
Exactly, and that's something that autistic people have to deal with.
Yep.
Like, my God, the shit that I had to go through in high school because of that one teacher. Like, I went through some shit. Ah. Oh, where is it? Ah, found it. It was from A class. But it was one of the class. I did enjoy her class because she did a lot for the students. Like, and I mean a lot. But it was fun as hell. Oh, let me. But we did enjoy what we did. But yeah. But I did have a lot of good teachers. It was that one bad apple. Her. Not Evel. Oh, I'm talking about my teacher.
McNoodles? Or Hamburg?
Yep.
There's this teacher named Hamburg. I thought Hamburger the teacher name. Hey, teacher Hamburger. Special weather statement. Don't jinx it.
I'm not.
Hey, Sir Hamburg. Sup? What's up, Mrs. A?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, man? Hey, Sir Hamburg.
But what?
Is he a German?
No.
Hamburger? Ooh, he loves hamburgers. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm. But
sorry, sir.
When he was the art teacher.
The one who motivated you to go into art,
mm-hmm.
Or you just get it?
Yeah, motivated. He retired the last year that I was in high school.
He older, like grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a World War.
No, not old grandma.
So he's old as my dad.
Mama. Oh. He was born around the 90s. Or not 90, but
80s.
70. Between 60 and 70s.
So he's older as Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And what happened is that he did retire. But yeah. He retired because he was going to move to the Bahamas where his daughter lived. And also he was about to become a grandpa too.
1979? At 41 years old?
Or he was around 50.
1965.
Yeah.
I think He had the same age as my mom.
But he did a lot good.
Oh, Mr. Hamburg, the art guy. So is he the one who motivated you to go into art?
Yeah.
So how did Mr. Hamburg feel when he saw your art thing?
You.
Yeah.
He said I was doing better. Like I did good, and I was improving. Like I started improving my artwork when I started dating you.
So he knew about me?
Yeah. He did get mad one time because I was using his art card to print out photos of you to draw. Yeah, I did that one time.
At least he understands.
Yeah.
He will get mad if you don't listen.
But Mitnettle, I hope she
GTFO.
If she sees it, I hope she realize how much she effed up.
You're not only speaking for yourself, but you speak for Daniel. And for other autistic
and
who
our
were
autistic
her victim list.
Heck. Then there was one time that she tried to hold Daniel down. You do not hold or try to restrain an autistic when they're having a meltdown. She tried doing that and got the crap pushed out of her, which she had coming to her.
Karma getting to her in return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when someone has meltdown, you let them be. Right?
Yep.
You don't hold or you don't let them stop. You don't refrain them. You let them do it. That's a part of letting their freaking frustrations out. Rather than bottling out and collecting all the crap. It's just like collecting your weight. That will be harder for you to lose weight if you keep holding on to that pain, to that weight. That weight of anger for an autistic, they can never hold on to that forever. And I think your teacher take it against someone who had meltdown.
Yep.
And that's stupid. I'm sorry.
It happens.
If you as a teacher or a parent do not know how to deal with autistic.
Oh, well, I seen your thing about the NASCAR post today.
Yeah.
You know that was not from Cars 3, that was from Cars 1. You might want to re-edit that again. You made an error.
Oh,
Jane.
I was trying. I have sound, sorry. But it looks like a Cars 3, technically.
No, it was Cars 1. If you look at the stadium in the...
Piston Cup.
Yep.
Wait, let me find it. No, yeah, it's here. Yeah, I'm gonna rewrite that.
But, yeah. But, it's messed up now. Is there anything else you want to say?
Cars movie that looked like a piston cup.
But, yeah. It's crazy.
Because
But I have seen some stuff before, you know?
Piston cup. I like piston cup.
But, yeah, you know?
Yes. Jessa. Oh my god, my sister's so cute. But anyway.
Is there anything you want to say now?
I'd make fun of me. No, just kidding. I mean, there are a lot of... my experience with the mistreatment in school comes from more of the students. And sometimes the counselors do not understand autistic. You know, but there's this one counselor who is in training to deal with me, and I was having a lot of meltdown, but I didn't know she was able to handle it well. Kudos to that guidance counselor in training, whom I encountered in my second year high school. I am so thankful that I have you.
Now, I will bring it up. I did meet my old middle school teacher at a guidance counselor at West Ashley High, but that was when I was in my senior year of high school.
Walmart?
No, was actually high. But yeah,
Wait, let me.
and I found out that our old middle school teacher, Mitt Lacrip, or not Mitt Lacrip, but Mehinan, the principal of the high school over here, Low Country Leadership. So that's funny that Mehinan exactly Mitt Lacrip is. I'm wondering if she remembered me. But yeah, it's been crazy. Is there anything else you want to say?
Well, with my experience, like I said, with the students, they falsely accused me and they just set me up. They framed me to do stuff that is out of my norm, out of my will. And
That odd. They're now saying that we might get snow
that
around
sucks.
5 a.m.
But they thought that I will never be successful. Even my own kind, they thought that I will never be successful. I will never be in college. But look, I was able to conquer college, and also I even have a mishaps with this organization that I perform for. They thought that I will never had a singing opportunity after that, but I was able to get up and without them I was still able to finish high school and got to college. And that's way too personal for me, but last words is us autistics have a special place, and we also need to be recognized as well for the good.
Yeah, and we'll always triumph.
Yep.
Am I right?
Uh-huh. But that'll be it.
But yeah, it's just been crazy.
That'll be it for my part, because I already said everything.
But yeah. But I remember all the crap I had to go through when I was younger. Like, I had to deal with so much crap that, my God, I remember. Like, I remember having to deal with stuff. Oof. Like, I remember a lot. And I mean a lot. And stuff that I had to deal with when I was younger.
Yeah. Sorry, reading NASCAR memes.
Was just so rough. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I fought to survive. You know what I mean, Val?
Me too.
And I successfully made it through. But yeah.
I did also the same. Even though they would tell me, even though people would try to tear me down, I still keep going. There are a lot of people, even though they're not my family members, believed in me that I can be successful, that I can nurture myself and mature and be independent as well. Being independent, especially at this age, at this adult age I am, is not a sign of being rebellious. It's about growing up, that nobody will help you but your own self. So if I was saying that I wanted to be independent, don't take it against me, because one day I will be alone. What if I have nobody to do it? I have the survival means, you know?
It can happen. Like, Val could be a widow when something bad happened to me, or I could be a widow. Am I right?
Yep.
Like, I've seen what happened to people in our community, and it could be rough sometimes because there are a lot of people who lose the ones that they love. Like that cop that was killed about a week ago left married under 4 months, and they got married 4 months before he died in the line of duty, and he was 22. And it's sad because what happened. So she is a widow because of it. But it can be hard. Oh, there was a house fire in Hollywood, South Carolina tonight. Ooh. Dang. But it can be hard. What are we? Like, there's a YouTube called Widow Hope. She is autistic to a married, but her husband passed away. She do videos on recovering and trying to move on. But it was pretty hard for her. I watched some of her YouTube videos and it's pretty amazing, but it's something that autistic people gotta be prepared for, because losing the one you love can be pretty hard. Am I right, Val?
Mm-hmm.
But it does happen. My grandma became a widow in 1999 when my grandpa died. And I know it was rough on her losing the one that she was married to for almost 2 decades.
Excuse me.
But yeah, that could be rough for anybody, if you know what I mean. Rough as it can be. But for people who triumph and make it back and keep on moving, that's pretty good. But yeah. Am I right, Val?
Yeah.
But it's up that we do think about, because when your loved one, the one you're married to, can be hard.
Yeah.
Now, I will never divorce Val. I'll be honest. She is the one I love. I will never divorce you, you know?
Even though there are a lot of people thinking, oh, there are a lot of people telling us that we won't last, but who they are to do it?
We'll prove them wrong.
We marked our 1-year anniversary last year.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
We made it to our 1 year.
With my own side of the story, if you guys want to hear my story, side of the story about how we get through as a married couple, I will do it on the new series.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's still part of the autism in me, because we're both autistics, and I will see. I'm praying to God that I could make it. I could do it without my fear getting to me, because I know my fear. Someone put my fear into me, in order for me not to do it. But please, guys, please encourage me. Thank you, guys. Like David is so brave enough to speak up. Then I hope I could have the same trait as what he have.
I learned to speak up because it's also a calling a.
Oh God. Come on. I thought Joshua said he's gonna talk to us tomorrow. Come on.
It is tomorrow.
Bestie, I thought you're gonna talk to us tomorrow because you're busy.
Bestie, it's not yet 12 a.m. on
It's
California time. I told.
Okay.
So also, you're live on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're in California. How's your flight?
Oh
yeah, I'm just waiting for 1 more hour before to upload it.
Gotta be one more hour to go, Joshua.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Oh my God,
Josh.
are you
I
guys
thought you're in
excited?
Virginia.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Oh,
in Virginia.
have the snow been coming down?
Dude, there's a lot of snow outside already. Like my dick is starting to freeze.
Oh my.
Why do you always say that when I'm live? Come on.
Oh.
I only said it twice. Excuse me, Mr. David Mitchell. I don't always say that.
But you are expecting about 1 to 3 feet of snow in Virginia Beach.
Oh, you're still in
there's
Virginia
snow?
Beach?
Yeah, 1 to 3 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, bestie.
Bestie.
So you're still there in Virginia?
Yeah, bestie. David, you didn't tell her that I would be flying next
Yes.
week instead?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Val.
What happened?
He got to delay the flight until February 4th.
Oh.
Because you want to tell her about the quarantine?
Quarantine or COVID thing?
No, Val, because my family got COVID, so I know what it's like to be quarantined. Your family was positive too, right?
Yeah, my mom and everybody else was tested positive for COVID back in September, and we were in quarantine for 2 weeks.
So me and
there
David
we
don't
go.
have
So,
any signs of COVID anyway.
Yeah, the only thing that me and Vel were able to do was go to train tracks because the train tracks are right by a house. So even though we were quarantined, we were still able to go to tracks.
I know.
But-
gosh. Well,
But it was cut and go there for a while because my mom nearly died. She technically died and came back to life on us.
at least we're all on the same boat when it comes to experiencing quarantine. It's
Yep.
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Bestie, can I talk to you for a while?
Yeah?
Are you literally live right now?
yeah, we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're
What
literally...
episode is this?
Episode 228.
Oh my god, has it been really 228?
Yeah, I've been doing this live streaming series since 2018.
Hello everyone. Oh, that's a nice microphone, Bestie. You should use that when you do your reaction. That's
David, that's technically my microphone.
Yeah, Joshua, the microphone is Vel. We both use it for the live stream.
oh my goodness.
I use it
Well,
for my
are you
phone,
excited
dude?
in an hour that our video is finally coming out?
Yeah. Oh, Joshua, get what? They're saying that we're going to get snow again tomorrow morning around
Oh my
5.
God. Well, make a vlog about it. Like, this is your chance.
I know.
Anyways, Bestie, wait, I gotta talk to you for a while.
But we're about to end the live stream into a minute. So, Joshua, is there anything you want to say to the live stream?
Hey everyone, feel free to subscribe to Belle's channel and also mine. We're uploading a video later on my channel as well. It's called Fall in Line. Would you like to give a sample to it?
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is. Maybe it's never gonna change. But I got a mind to show my strength. And I got a right to speak my mind. I'm gonna pay for this. They're gonna burn me at the stake. But I got a fire in my veins. I wasn't made to fall in line.
Yeah. Oh, I
But,
could imitate you, bestie.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I hope Joshua put on a show for you guys. Please like and subscribe.
Ringtone.
And I hope everybody liked the live stream. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later.
I imitate Joshua.
Bye, guys.
Bestie.
Bestie.